Soundings Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of A Sudden Engagement, written by Penny Jordan, read by Karen Cass. The moral right of the author has been asserted. This performance is owned by Soundings, Whitley Bay, NE26 2JT. Chapter 1. Their play was going to close. Somehow Kirsty knew it. She could taste the bitter flavour of defeat, had sensed from the audience response that all was not going well. Her meagre savings were almost exhausted, and unless she found an office job to tide her over, she would have to go tail between her legs back to her parents. If only Chelsea and Slade weren't away in Italy. Much as she loved her parents, her mother was inclined to fuss, and indeed had never wanted her to become an actress. Her aunt, though, understood. An actress. Kirsty grimaced wryly, slipping out of the theatre without bothering to join the others in the green room. If it hadn't been for Drew Chalmers' biting criticism of her in her last play, she might still have been appearing in it. Might indeed have gone with it to New York with the rest of the cast. As the icy cold wind, unseasonal in September, funneled down the collar of her suede coat, she shivered, and tried to huddle deeper into it. The coat had been a present from her aunt and her new husband the previous Christmas, and a very welcome one. The soft cream suede suited her dark curls and faintly olive-tinged skin, and the expensive cut flattered her curvy shape, slightly less curvy of late. The salary she was being paid by the small theatre group she was now working for barely covered her rent and the basics. And just for a moment she allowed herself to think weakeningly of her mother's delicious cooking, of the meal that had always been waiting for her when she lived at home. She was the one who had wanted to leave, she reminded herself. If her mother had had her way, she would still be living in Melchester, still going out with the boy next door, marriage ultimately on the cards when he finished university. But much as she liked him, she hadn't wanted that. For as long as she could remember, she had wanted to act, had dreamed of acting. But always the very great parts, she acknowledged ruefully, and she had firmly believed that she could succeed in her chosen career. Her drama school teachers had encouraged her, and she had been over the moon when she had got her very first role. A small part, admittedly, but in a very prestigious work by an up-and-coming playwright. Now she could acknowledge that she had never felt truly at home in the role, that of a streetwise teenager, cynical and worldly. It had called for a depth of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?